The day everything changed began with humiliation, not revelation. On a bright city street where people rushed past, chasing their own importance, an elderly garbage collecting woman in a faded pink uniform stood quietly with a broom in her trembling hands. Her back was bent, her face lined with years of hardship, and her eyes carried a sadness that came from being invisible for too long. Around her well-dressed women laughed loudly, pointing fingers, their smiles sharp with cruelty. No one knew that beneath that worn uniform was a secret powerful enough to shake an entire family to its core. Before this story unfolds any further, take a moment. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that character matters more than wealth or appearance, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this exist to remind us who we truly are. The old woman was known in that neighborhood as just another municipal worker, sweeping streets before sunrise and after sunset. People barely noticed her unless they needed someone to blame for dirt that never truly went away. But what no one imagined was that this woman was once one of the most powerful business minds in the country. A self-made millionaire who had built an empire from nothing, lost his wife early, and raised his son with strict values about humility and hard work. Now old and curious, he had made a choice that shocked even his closest advisors. He disguised himself as a garbage collecting woman to test the one person who would soon inherit not just his wealth, but his legacy through marriage. His daughter-in-law. The son had married into beauty, elegance, and social status. His wife was admired at parties, praised for her fashion sense, and envied for her lifestyle. To the world, she was perfect. To the old millionaire, she was still an unanswered question. He wanted to know how she treated those who could offer her nothing, not when cameras were on, not when praise was guaranteed, but in ordinary, uncomfortable moments. So he disappeared from boardrooms and penthouses and reappeared on the streets, stooped and silent, collecting garbage under the sun. The first encounter happened by chance, or so it seemed. Outside a luxury boutique, the old woman paused to rest her aching hands. The daughter-in-law stepped out, surrounded by friends, laughter echoing down the street. The sight of the garbage collector irritated her. She saw dirt where she wanted perfection, inconvenience where she expected comfort. Her face twisted in disgust, and she mocked the woman openly, laughing about the smell, the clothes, the job. Her friends joined in, their laughter loud and careless. The old woman lowered her eyes, gripping her broom tighter, absorbing every word like a familiar wound. But something unexpected happened. The old woman did not move away quickly enough. Her knees were weak, her breath shallow. The daughter-in-law grew angrier, as if the presence of poverty itself was an insult. She complained to the store manager, demanded the street be cleared, and walked away without a second glance. That night, the old woman returned to her small rented room, sat alone, and wrote notes in a small notebook. Not numbers, not profits, observations, feelings, truth. Days turned into weeks. The test continued. The old woman appeared at the family home, pretending to be assigned to clean the street outside. The daughter-in-law saw her daily and grew increasingly harsh. She never offered water in the heat, never acknowledged her greetings, never once looked into her eyes. Meanwhile, neighbors noticed something else. The old woman helped stray animals, shared food with homeless men, and smiled gently at children who waved at her. Her kindness flowed quietly without reward. One afternoon, the old woman collapsed while working. Her body finally gave in to exhaustion. A small crowd gathered. People hesitated, unsure whether to help. The daughter-in-law stood at a distance, annoyed that the scene was causing attention. She called for someone else to deal with it and turned away. It was a stranger, a poor shopkeeper, who brought water and shade. The old woman opened her eyes and saw everything clearly. That evening, the truth was set in motion. The son received a call summoning the family to the old family estate. Confused and worried, they arrived to find the house alive in a way it had not been for months. The old woman was gone. In her place stood a dignified figure, upright, clean, dressed simply but with undeniable authority. The transformation was shocking. The daughter-in-law felt her stomach drop as recognition dawned too late. The revelation was not loud. It was calm, deliberate, and devastating. The old millionaire explained everything, the disguise, the test, the reason. He spoke not with anger, but with deep disappointment. Wealth, he said, could be earned again and again, but character revealed itself when no one was watching. The room felt heavy. The daughter-in-law stood frozen, her past actions replaying in her mind like a cruel film she could not stop. What followed was silence, no shouting, no punishment, just truth. The old man made his decision clear. The inheritance, the trust, the future leadership of the company would not go to someone who measured human worth by appearance. But he did something unexpected. He gave her a choice, not money, not status, but growth. She could stay, learn, serve, and change, starting from the ground she once despised. The days that followed were the hardest of her life. She traded designer shoes for simple clothes, comfort for labor. She worked alongside real garbage collectors, cleaned streets, listened to stories of survival and pain. For the first time, she felt invisible. For the first time, she felt ashamed. Slowly, something inside her broke open. Pride gave way to humility. Cruelty gave way to empathy. She began to help without being asked, to apologize without expecting forgiveness. To see people, months later, the old millionaire watched quietly as she knelt to help an elderly woman lift a bag, offering water, smiling with genuine warmth. No cameras, no applause, just kindness. The test was never about punishment, it was about transformation. If this story is touching your heart right now, if it's reminding you of moments you wish you could change or people you wish you had treated better, please take a second to like this video, share it, and stay connected to the channel. Stories like this only live when they are felt. Near the end of his life, the old millionaire passed on peacefully, knowing his legacy was finally safe, not because of money, but because of growth. The daughter-in-law never spoke about her past cruelty again, but she lived every day trying to repay it through quiet compassion. Before this story ends, we have one special request. Please comment below with one word that this story made you feel. Kindness, regret, hope, change, your words matter. Because sometimes the greatest test of all is not how we treat those above us, but how we treat those the world has taught us to ignore.